Good morning at 6:03. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, way down yonder. Erin has local news next.
A bill to bump the minimum wage up is before the Senate. We'll talk about that. Finding jobs for Shreveport. It's going to be tough to find. And one council member wants to break away from the MPC.
Yeah, minimum wage. Man, I stayed up late last night and missed my nap, so I won't be able to say minimum today.
Uh-oh.
It's just going to be minimum wage.
Minimum.
I still have my numbers, my annual salaries from last week, so we compare.
Okay.
And you sent me that letter yesterday, a copy of that.
Child.
I don't get that. You're going to have to explain.
Oh, we got to read that, baby.
Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather, and it's all here this hour coming up on Keel.
The Department of Children and Family Services has seen a huge decrease.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
The state Senate to talk about bumping up the minimum wage today. The legislation would boost the wage to $8.50 an hour by 2020 and has the support of the governor.
I just don't believe anybody thinks $7.25 is a fair, adequate, meaningful wage for an hour's worth of work.
A full-time minimum wage worker makes $290 a week before taxes. Louisiana's unemployment rate for February was 4.5%, down from 5.5% in February of last year. LSU economist Dr. Lauren Scott says the numbers aren't as rosy in towns where construction has slowed, and Shreveport-Bossier's on that list.
You've had some reductions in force out at Barksdale. You've had Libby Glass layoffs of people. You've just had a number of kind of hits that you've taken, and you haven't quite pulled out and started to make the turn yet. I think you're still down about 2,000 jobs compared to where you were last year.
Shreveport Councilman James Fleury says if Shreveport wants to bring jobs to town, the city needs to break away from the MPC. Fleury says the city currently is not business-friendly, and potential business suitors are headed to Bossier. Fleury is proposing a separate city department that can approve its own business ventures and cut out the MPC, who he says is hurting the city more than helping. Scary situation for a family in Shreveport. Matt Parker with that.
Christopher Murphy has been arrested after he forced his way into a home and refused to leave Monday morning. According to Shreveport police, a female caregiver called for help when Murphy broke into a home in the 3700 block of Huston Street. The woman was able to escape the home, but the person she cared for was unable to get away. Police were eventually able to arrest Murphy without incident. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport could be getting some cutting-edge wireless technology. The Infrastructure Committee writing an ordinance that would allow the installation of new, smaller 5G towers across the city. The new towers would improve broadband and cellular speeds while also increasing the city's capacity for users. The Louisiana Attorney General's office set to announce its results in the Alton Sterling investigation today. The AG's office has investigated for nearly a year on whether two Baton Rouge police officers should face charges in the shooting death of Sterling. Loyola law professor Dane Ciolino says it's not known if Landry presented evidence to a grand jury,
or whether the Attorney General decided that the evidence did not even rise to the level of being worthy of presentation to a grand jury.
Teacher arrested for violently assaulting a student. Gregory Bonvillon, a Baton Rouge schoolteacher, accused of banging a 6-year-old boy's head against a brick wall and then throwing the student in the air. A bill to allow bulletproof backpacks on school campuses passes in a Senate committee. Senator Mike Walsworth of West Monroe says it's unfortunate that a step like this is needed, but he would rather take preventative action than rely on school resource officers and other law enforcement.
I think we would have thought that the officer in Florida would have been there to protect our kids, and he didn't do his job.
Walsworth says the bill would only allow the bulletproof backpacks. It would not require them. You may soon be able to get beer, wine, and liquor delivered to your door. State Senator Blade Morrish proposing a bill that would allow Louisiana retailers, restaurants, and companies like Waiter to deliver factory-sealed alcohol to homes. They're the games many of us played as kids or kids at heart, And later today, we'll have an idea which of them will have a shot at immortality. The World Video Game Hall of Fame announcing its finalists for the class of 2018. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Follow the world.
Good morning. It's 9 past 6 o'clock. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic for Tuesday.
Everything's still running nice and smooth for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Industrial Drive near Old Mendon Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch goes into effect this afternoon. We'll have a shower or thunderstorm in the area today, mainly this afternoon. High a very warm 85. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Mom!
Good morning. It's 11 past 6 o'clock. 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Shreveport Security Systems text line all morning long is 318-392-1884. Wants to know what you think. You sent me this email yesterday, and I read the letter, and you're going to have to explain. This is me at my worst. Not reading comprehension, but something slightly different called reading and understanding.
Yeah, kind of reading comprehension.
The point being, it's a letter from Gateway Development Consortium, who, as I understand, are the folks who are the movers at phase one. They are the first wave of public relations and more for the billion-dollar Cross Bayou 2.0.
Sure.
Okay? And they sent a letter to Liz Swain, Executive Director, Downtown Development Authority,
in response to an email she sent.
So tell me about that.
I didn't see her email.
What did it say? What are you told it said?
That it was there was lots of concerns about the GDC claiming that the DDA,
Downtown Development Authority,
supported their proposal, and she was objecting to that in her email. Apparently, I don't have a copy.
Dear Liz, Gateway.
It's nasty.
Gateway Development Consortium, LLC.
GDC.
Yeah, GDC, Gateway Development Consortium.
Yeah.
Wanted to personally address your recent email wherein you stated GDC is erroneously reporting to other groups that DDA, Liz Swain's Downtown Development Authority, is supportive. Oh, man, guess what wants to restart?
Of our development group's efforts.
You also directed GDC to remove DDA logos from any... Basically, is this...
Disconnect us from this. We do not... We're not in support. We're not backing this.
So
we're not a part of it.
what Miss Liz said, or allegedly, according to this, she was saying we, DDA... has not taken a stand on Cross Bayou 2.0.
I think that's pretty accurate. I think you're right, because some would say that she was anti. I think this is exactly what you said. We haven't taken a position. We're not for nor again.
We are disappointed to see you chose to react to an unfounded rumor without first consulting us.
Ooh, that's hostile.
What does that mean?
That means you went out and sent this out without coming to us first. You believe these rumors first without asking. You naughty girl.
So explain to me what in other words, they are saying that Ms. Liz
is believing rumors that she's hearing that the DDA supports the plan.
According to GDC.
Yes.
Okay. So what? Pardon me? Look, see why I just gave...
convoluted.
No, it's not. You see why I gave up?
Yeah, I'm with you.
But see if I've got this here. Gateway Development Consortium. They're running interference for Cross Bayou 2.0. They are chewing out Liz Swain.
They are. I would. That's pretty fair.
They are chewing out Liz Swain, saying, "Wait a second. You sent an email saying we were using your logo, and you say that we were doing this stuff,
and we weren't doing it."
Saying you endorsed us, and we never said that.
Right, and she's hearing it from, I don't know who she's hearing it from, or seeing documents. Well, but here's the deal, and the letter makes this real clear, too. The GDC took this whole plan with drawings and everything that we haven't seen yet to the DDA. I mean, that's where they first unveiled it, was before the DDA board and Liz Swain, and said, here's our plan, here it is, what do you think? Blah, 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 isn't this awesome? And then they went on their marching tour across the city.
Which is when they came to see us.
Yes. And, they may have gotten an inkling from a DDA board member or two that the DDA was backing it. I don't know. But how it got twisted from maybe a board member likes it to the DDA now supports it, and whether or not that even happened is up for debate.
As the agency, meaning the DDA, last paragraph of the email, as the agency tasked with establishing public-private partnerships to transform our downtown, the Downtown Development Authority should be encouraging GDC, Gateway Development Consortium, as well as local and state government to move forward in finally developing Cross Bayou, rather than engaging in the precise, petty turf battles that have stymied Shreveport's growth for far too long. To that end, we once again respectfully request DDA to urge the city to sign a non-binding. They're just saying we're awesome and y'all ought to get behind us.
I love this line. We understand we drink from a well we did not dig. Meaning, we're all in this muck together.
What muck?
The Cross Bayou muck.
There's no muck.
No, we were promised a park years ago.
And now they want to spend $1 billion.
We don't need $1 billion park.
The question is, how much of that $1 billion investment, which is still an unnamed number, how much of that $1 billion do they want the city of Shreveport to underwrite?
The city doesn't have it to underwrite.
Well,
we don't have it.
They'll do bonds again. They'll try to pass. Look, and you said 1,000,000 years ago, when Cross Bayou 1.0 was being debated, and you had said, you know what? If there's a bond issue, why not put it to vote, to a vote of the people of Shreveport and or Caddo Parish.
Let's let people vote on it. Here's what they're asking of the DDA.
Pardon me. Here's why we got to go to break in a second.
Real quick, we got to read this.
Here's why that won't happen. Because the way it stands now, GDC, the developers, or whoever the developers turn out to be, Janus, I guess, is the New York company, they've only got to convince 4 people. They have to convince 4 people it's a good idea, and it's a go. 4 people.
And the mayor, because she could veto it with 4.
4 people and the mayor. 4 out of the 7 city council people. Now, who do you think it's easier to convince? 4 out of 7 city council people and the mayor, who may or may not feel she has the political juice to buck the city council? Or 50.1% of Shreveport? Obviously, 4 people are a lot easier. Let's go to break. We'll talk about this more when we get back.
By the way, real quick.
Go ahead.
They're asking the DDA, this is interesting, to urge the city to sign a non-binding MOU, which means we want you to do this. We're urging you to get the city to sign a memorandum of understanding, and let's move forward.
1017 FM. It's in everyone's best interests.
Yeah.
101. Need to get David Hogg down here talking about
I've called Liz Swain, by the way, left a message. No response yet.
1017. Well, it is 6:18.
No, I called her yesterday.
1017 FM, 710 Keel traffic time. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still running nice and smooth for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Industrial Drive near Old Mendon Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch goes into effect this afternoon. We'll have a shower or thunderstorm in the area today, mainly this afternoon. High a very warm 85. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
.1017 FM, 710 Keel, and the Keel app is a free download and sounds awesome. Sports update. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. LSU finished off a weather-delayed win over Vanderbilt Sunday morning to even their weekend series 1-all, but lost the 7-inning series ender 1-zip. Commodores freshman Mason Hickman outdueled Tiger rookie Mikhail Hilliard. Hickman moved to 5-0 while fanning 9. Hilliard took the loss despite surrendering just 4 hits in 6 innings and struck out 8. Louisiana Tech won their weekend series over Alabama Birmingham with a 12-inning 9-4 win. The Bulldogs turned a 3-3 thriller into a comfy win with 6 runs in the top of the 12th. Northwestern State grabbed a 3-0 lead over Texas A&M Corpus Christi, but the Islanders scored 8 unanswered runs to take the series 2-1 with the 8-3 victory. And the NCAA Final Four is set. Kansas advanced to San Antonio with an overtime win over Duke Sunday. Villanova knocked off Texas Tech and will face the Jayhawks in one of the national semifinals. On the other side of the bracket, 11th-seeded Cinderella Loyola of Chicago will face Michigan. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Springtime.
1017 FM. You okay down there?
I'll be all right.
A lot of coughing and stuff going on. Are you allergy ridden at all?
I am pretty much. And
Are you?
I have a little bit of dust around my house too.
Are you really?
I never have been. You know I never have been.
So
but this year.
So what's the difference in your allergy, sneezing, coughing, itchy eyes, watery?
Because I have painting going on at the house and dust flying and fur flying and all that.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
See,
I'm not
I am
sure.
wholly unaffected this year. I mean,
you usually get bad.
No, I usually get average. My brother gets bad.
Yeah, you're average. You're
I mean,
right.
on a 1 to 10 scale, I will be maybe a 4. And some years it's a 6, some years it's a 4, some years it's 0.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea why it varies from year to year, other than this year, which everybody says is kind of bad, is I am wholly unaffected and I sleep with my window open.
Have you noticed, by the way, the lines at car washes?
Yeah.
It's been crazy. I went and got mine, and I'm like, I know I shouldn't do it, but I got it, at least once every other week or something.
I made the mistake.
It's so green.
I told you. I made the mistake of leaving the sunroof on my car open one night.
Oh.
And if you just pound one of the seats with your fist, green dust flies out.
Oh, yuck.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. So John Bell is actually... I mean, his minimum wage, he wants to go from what, 7 1/4 to 8.50.
8.50 by the end of 2020.
Which is...
Or by the beginning of 2020.
An increase if you are a full-time minimum wage employee. And I like the way he's bringing gender politics into it.
Oh, yeah.
If you're against minimum wage, you're
against children.
You hate women.
And children.
You hate women and children.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the deal, and here's the irony of it all, which I have pointed out on numerous occasions. If you make $7.25 an hour, you make $290 a week if you work 40 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
If John Bell gets his raise up to $8.50, I would say slim chance. But if John Bell gets his raise up to $8.50 an hour, then if you're a 40-hour-a-week minimum wage employee, you will make $340 a week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that means you're making $11.6 a year now, but you'll get a raise up to $13.6. $2,000 a week. Always remember, $1,000 a year raise is about $20 a week before taxes, give or take. So John Bell wants to give minimum wage employees who are working 40 hours a week about a $40 a week raise.
Yeah.
Here's the irony of that all. Who's the guy who wants to raise taxes on everybody? Who's the guy who wants to increase the gas tax? Who's the guy who wants to redo and increase the average tax rate on low to middle income Louisianans? Who's the guy who says we have a fiscal cliff and the only way to bridge that fiscal gap, that chasm, that economic chasm, is more income, more revenue to the state?
Yep.
So on one hand, you have John Bell and the Democrats. On one hand, you have John Bell and the Democrats who are saying, we need to look out for the little guy. We need to give those people who are struggling, we need to give those minimum wage workers a raise so that we, those very same Democrats, led by John Bell, can take their money away.
Mm-hmm.
That's just unbelievable to me.
Yeah. But... the minimum wage is sad, but it's going to cost business. It's going to cost business jobs. It's going to raise the prices of everything we buy.
Pardon me. It literally is this. Raising the minimum wage and raising taxes in hand with that minimum wage increase is basically a tax increase on businesses, not the people, because they're the ones paying for it. Mm-hmm. You're the one paying for the raise, which the minimum wage people are in turn turning around and giving right back to the state.
Yeah.
So if you own a small business and suddenly you are mandated by the Louisiana state government to increase, that your costs increase via your employees from 7 1/4 to $8.50 an hour, really, it's just an increased tax on you because John Bell is saying, here, Mr. Business Person or Ms. Business Person, you give that extra money to your employee, and we're going to turn around and take it from them.
Right.
28 past 6 o'clock, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Erin has local news up next, plus traffic and weather coming up on Keel. Good morning, 29 past 6 o'clock. Keel traffic. Here's Ruben.
Everything's looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school. But look out later on this morning for some traffic delays at the intersection of North Market and MLK Drive. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline at 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch goes into effect this afternoon. We'll have a shower or thunderstorm in the area today, mainly this afternoon. High a very warm 85. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Attorney General Jeff Landry expected to announce today results of an investigation into the Alton Sterling death. They've investigated for nearly a year. Now, Loyola University law professor Dane Ciolino says state's AG office likely used information gathered by the feds and state police.
And at the end of the day, the issue is whether or not they were able to uncover probable cause to believe that this was an unjustifiable killing, or whether there was the shooting actually occurred in self-defense.
The U.S. Justice Department announced in May the fatal shooting did not violate Sterling's civil rights. The unemployment rate in Louisiana at 4.5% in February, down a full point from February a year ago. But LSU economist Dr. Lauren Scott tells KEEL News the Shreveport-Bossier job market has yet to bounce back.
Yeah, your numbers are still not very good. I mean, you folks peaked back in 2008, believe it or not. And I think you're about 15,000 jobs below where you were in 2008.
Now, Scott says the numbers aren't as rosy in towns where construction has slowed, and Shreveport-Bossier is on that list. A bill to raise the minimum wage will be up for a vote before the Senate today. The legislation would bump the wage to $8.50 an hour by 2020. The governor says more women than men work minimum wage jobs, oftentimes are responsible for children at home. He says raising wages would help provide more stable homes for Louisiana's children.
If we want to do something meaningful about attacking our child poverty rate, which is one of the highest in the nation, this is something that we can do.
A full-time minimum wage worker makes $290 a week before taxes. Scary situation for a local family. Christopher Murphy arrested after he forced his way into a home and refused to leave. According to police, a female caregiver called for help when Murphy broke into a home on Huston Street. The woman was able to escape the home, but the person she cared for was not able to get away. A councilman wants to break away from the MPC. Matt Parker with that.
Shreveport Councilman James Fleury says that if Shreveport wants to bring business to town, the city needs to break away from the MPC. Fleury says the city currently isn't business friendly and potential business suitors are going to Bossier. Fleury is proposing a separate city department that can approve its own business ventures and cut out the MPC, who he says is hurting the city more than it's helping. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport could be getting some cutting-edge wireless technology. The Infrastructure Committee writing an ordinance that would allow the installation of new, smaller 5G wireless towers. The new towers would improve broadband and cellular speeds while also increasing the city's capacity for users. The board hopes to have an ordinance drafted and up for a vote in the next 4 to 6 weeks. The Department of Children and Family Services has seen a huge decrease in the number of dead people getting food stamps after implementing a successful new program in partnership with the Department of Health. Assistant Secretary Sammy Guillory says over the last 4 years, 108 of the deceased have gotten SNAP benefits. That's down from 3,900 who got benefits in the 4 years ending in June of 2013. Entitlement fraud involving the dead's a big talking point these days, but Guillory says under the new system, benefits do get cut off now before someone can steal them and go on a spending spree.
In these cases, it's usually not fraud because we get those benefits cut off immediately. So even if someone else has a card and attempts to use it, they won't be able to.
The news that Facebook's Android app's been collecting call and text histories is yet another black eye for the social media giant. But just why was Facebook able to siphon off records of its users and who they were contacting in the first place? The short answer? Because Google let it happen. I'm Erin McCarty from 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
My fellow Americans.
front that we have seen the largest monthly.
Well, there's two tricky things about the unemployment. And so some of those construction jobs are very mobile. They go all over the country. And I think we probably lost some of those too.
Dr. Lauren Scott in Orlando.
101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. KEEL app's a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. No answer yet on that. You know, it's kind of like infighting. It's a view behind the curtain, if you will. We're talking about the letter sent from the Grandiose Development Corporation. What the hell is it really?
GDC.
I beg your pardon?
GDC.
But what? Your mic's not on.
There it goes. Is it back?
Okay. What does it stand for again?
Gateway Development Consortium.
They're basically the movers and shakers. They're this sort of skull and bones like group that are pushing Cross Bayou 2.0.
Yeah.
And they say, I mean, it doesn't accomplish anything other than they're fighting for turf with Liz Swain and DDA, Downtown Development Authority. Mm-hmm. Is it more than that? I mean, does this really mean anything in the scheme of how this whole thing will play out eventually? Other than if you want Liz Swain and DDA behind you making a public spectacle of whatever stance that she did or the group did or didn't have, how does that benefit GDC?
This being so public now is, because this has been sent to lots of media folks, I'm sure.
So my question is,
not good.
For whom?
It's not good for anybody. If you're pushing this and you're pushing down, well, Liz will tell you she wants Cross Bayou developed. Now,
will she?
She may. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. She wants Cross Bayou developed, no doubt. And if no doubt,
at cost no matter who pays. I mean, this is just
I don't know about that.
I, Liz Swain, unconditionally want Cross Bayou developed.
I would say probably yes.
No matter how much it costs the city or the taxpayer.
Here's the problem. You have a little kingdom. The DDA is its own little kingdom, sort of. And
let's say FIFA.
Wait, let me finish my point.
Okay.
And Liz wants things done the way she wants things done. And this group may not, and I'm speculating, this is no knowledge of any, this group may be doing things differently than the way Liz would like things done.
I guess
and that's where you have the knuckle banging.
The what?
The knuckle banging.
So here's my question. If Liz Swain and the Downtown Development Authority has any juice, any power, any input at any point in the approval of the Cross Bayou development, does it behoove GDC to ruffle their feathers, to get on their bad side? Wouldn't GDC in this instance have better served if they had just sort of given Liz a call and said, hey, listen, here's the deal, or for that matter, done absolutely nothing? Because
and vice versa. If Liz is hearing rumors that you're going out and you're saying we support this, it might have been to her benefit to call someone and say, hey, I'm hearing this. Is this really accurate? And maybe she did, and we don't know that yet.
But here's my question. Tell me how going public with a cat fight with the Downtown Development Authority, the people who want their support in developing Cross Bayou, explain to me how what's our first rule around here? What's our first rule? Never send anything negative in
Never send a negative email, period.
So explain to me. We'll go to break. I just want you to think about it for the course of the morning because this will come up again after 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to me in 30 minutes or so how this email, how this paper trail, if you will, how this going on the record.
This shouldn't have happened.
How this benefits at all the development of Cross Bayou.
It doesn't.
By the people who are for it.
It doesn't.
Then what was their purpose in sending the email Or
maybe they were naive, thinking it wouldn't get out.
Or did they screw up?
I don't know.
639, 1017 FM, 710 Keel traffic update. Ruben's ready.
Everything's still running nice and smooth for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Industrial Drive near Old Mendon Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch goes into effect this afternoon. We'll have a shower or thunderstorm in the area today, mainly this afternoon. High a very warm 85. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
There's two tricky things about the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate can go down for two reasons. Reasons global, they go all over the country. And I think we probably lost some of those too.
Once again today, so much to talk about in so little time, only 3 hours. Yesterday morning in the 8 o'clock hour, we had LSU economist Dr. Lauren Scott on, and he was talking about, well, John Bell had been trumpeting Louisiana's great unemployment numbers and that jobs are at an all-time high, and so we should raise taxes. Well, John Bell didn't come out and say that in that order specifically, but basically that's what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
But Dr. Scott had some interesting points to make and things that have been made not only about Louisiana, but national unemployment numbers going back to the Obama administration, that there are people who have if you're not looking for a job, if you're unemployed but you are not actively seeking employment, then you don't count on the unemployment rules.
Right.
And Dr. Scott is basically saying in this interview, let's kind of take that into consideration. Things are getting better in Louisiana. In fact, let's just listen to him. And the first question was, so John Bell's talking about we're awesome. Mm-hmm. Is John Bell kind of trying to trick everybody?
There's two tricky things about the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate can go down for two reasons. Reason number one is there are more jobs being found. And that's not why it's going down in Louisiana. Louisiana is kind of bouncing along the bottom of a trough we just finished about a 28-month recession, and we're not really popping back up. We're kind of bouncing along the bottom of the trough. So it's not because of that. The second reason it can decline is because a lot of people will just give up on looking for jobs. They drop out of the workforce. Oddly enough, people just not looking for jobs anymore will cause the unemployment rate to go down, which is kind of weird. But that's
they
the
fall
way it
off.
works.
They fall off the unemployment rolls too. Correct? I mean, they stop getting money.
Basically, they get the unemployment rate is they do a survey. They call people's house and they ask them two questions. Number one, are you working? And you say no. Are you actively looking for work? If you say no, then you're not counted as unemployed if you're not actively looking for work. And so it can go down for both reasons. Now, the good news is that's not why the unemployment rate went down either, oddly enough, because the number of people actually looking for work has actually gone up about 10,000 in the last year or so. The reason for this is because it's just a very bad statistic. As a matter of fact, we down here quit reporting. We try to encourage reporters and people in the media not to report the unemployment rate because it's such a bad number. And the reason it's a bad number is, again, they get it by doing surveys. By calling people and asking them these questions. Now, in order for that to work, you have to call enough people, and you have to call a very good representative. You have to call people that are representative of the number of the people that are in your state.
So basically,
the sample size is so small in Louisiana that you get numbers that are sometimes just crazy. They're just counter to what's going on. And I think this is one of those statistics that's counter to what's really going on.
So basically, the problem you have is
Louisiana's actually going down.
The methodology is just so flawed as to make it unreliable.
It's just too small. Matter of fact, I think especially when you start looking at unemployment rates by metropolitan area in the United States, in Louisiana, it's really bad. The sample sizes are just way too small.
Let's talk about
what we encourage people to look at is the employment numbers.
Let's talk about that. Those construction jobs, you say some communities are losing those, and that's a sign that we need to watch out for. How are we, Shreveport-Bossier, have you been able to look at some of our numbers with regard to jobs?
Yeah, your numbers are still not very good. I mean, you folks peaked back in 2008, believe it or not, and I think you're about 15,000 jobs below where you were in 2008. Of course, something very important happened in 2008, right? You had the big boom associated with the Haynesville Shale.
Sure.
Just craziness that was going on, but you just lost a lot of really kind of key things. Of course, General Motors shut down during that time period. You've had some reductions in force out at Barksdale. You've had Libby Glass lay off some people. You've just had a number of kind of hits that you've taken, and you haven't quite pulled out and started to make the turn yet. I think you're still down about 2,000 jobs compared to where you were last year. So you guys, Lafayette and Houma, are experiencing hits from the oil and gas side that on the net is what primarily caused the Louisiana economy as whole going into that 28-month recession. And you haven't quite pulled out of it yet. Now, the good news is there's an increasing activity in the Haynesville Shale. The rig count's gone up from about 16 to almost 40. So that's good news. Mm-hmm. So you just need a couple of more good hits to pull you out to start having to go positive again.
You know, the state legislature, the regular session, special session, tax raising session, etc. And you get all these debates, this back and forth about what the actual budget shortfall of the state will be. And in figuring what that number really is, they talk about the oil business, the gas industry, etc. Do you think that Louisiana, are we right now depending on, are we giving the future of oil and gas in Louisiana, given its irregularities, do we have too much of a rosy outlook for down the line?
Well, I don't think the outlook is on the oil and gas side is really great. Oil and gas is still extremely important to our economy. It's not only extremely important directly, but it's extremely important indirectly too. I mean, because we have this oil and gas, we're the number 2 refinery state in the nation, right behind Texas. And refinery is a very high-paying job. Very, very good job. Very high multiplier effects throughout the rest of the economy. And also another reason, another very important industry we have because we got oil and gas is the chemical industry. The chemical industry is huge in this state. There's probably 250,000 jobs directly or indirectly associated with the chemical industry. And they're here because of the natural gas, primarily, that we have here, and the pipeline infrastructure that we have to get that natural gas to the companies. So, but the actual extraction part, the actual going down and finding the oil and natural gas, is the thing that's really in a slump right now. It's in a slump in your area. Your area depends more than most metropolitan areas on the oil and gas side. But boy, it is really in a slump in the Gulf of Mexico, which is just killing Houma and Lafayette area.
Last 30 seconds, are people still leaving our state in droves? Do you still see that?
I haven't seen that, but I mean, that's exactly what you would expect when you have an area of the country where you're having job losses or not many jobs being created as we come out of the recession. There is people tend to follow the pocketbook. They move with the pocketbook. They vote with their pocketbook. And it would not surprise me. I haven't looked at the census statistics lately, but it would not surprise me to find us on the net losing folks because they're going to go where the jobs are. And especially right now, the construction side, which is down in the southern part of the state because a lot of big projects have finished up. Mm-hmm. And so some of those construction jobs are very mobile. They go all over the country. And I think we probably lost some of those too.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, 649. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still running nice and smooth for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Industrial Drive near Old Mendon Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch in effect this afternoon. We'll have clouds and a very warm high of 85 today. A shower or thunderstorm, especially for this afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
The KEEL VIP Club, brought to you by Titan Factory Direct Housing. Win great prizes just by logging on to KEELnews.com.
It is 8 before 7 o'clock, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. LSU finished off a weather-delayed win over Vanderbilt Sunday morning to even their weekend series 1-all, but lost the 7-inning series ender 1-zip. Commodores freshman Mason Hickman outdueled Tiger rookie Mikhail Hilliard. Hickman moved to 5-0 while fanning 9. Hilliard took the loss despite surrendering just 4 hits in 6 innings and struck out 8. Louisiana Tech won their weekend series over Alabama Birmingham with a 12-inning 9-4 win. The Bulldogs turned a 3-3 thriller into a comfy win with 6 runs in the top of the 12th. Northwestern State grabbed a 3-0 lead over Texas A&M Corpus Christi, but the Islanders scored 8 unanswered runs to take the series 2-1 with the 8-3 victory. And the NCAA Final Four is set. Kansas advanced to San Antonio with an overtime win over Duke Sunday. Villanova knocked off Texas Tech and will face the Jayhawks in one of the national semifinals. On the other side of the bracket, 11th-seeded Cinderella Loyola of Chicago will face Michigan. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Hello, low, cross by you. 654, it's 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. So Shreveport City Councilman James Fleury just after 7 about what? What does this have to do with the MPC, Metropolitan?
Yeah, he wants the city out of the MPC business. He actually wants the city in the MPC business and not deal with the MPC anymore.
I don't know what that means.
He wants to withdraw the city's involvement with the Metropolitan Planning Commission and create its own internal planning commission.
Because the MPC now operates for Shreveport and Caddo Parish at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's how many members on the MPC?
You shouldn't have asked me that. 7, 9? I'm not sure.
I think it's Caddo Parish puts up how much money?
They put up 200 G's.
And the city of Shreveport puts up?
About 800.
So twice the money, I guess. Yeah.
Shreveport has 4 reps on there. Caddo Parish has 4 reps. And I'm not sure about that. I think there may be one, overall
maybe
mayoral.
We should know more about this before we go to the interview.
Oh, I'll be happy to. I'll know everything by then.
I of course was meaning you. And we'll talk about this more a little bit after 7 o'clock, I think. But it just has to do with Mark Zuckerberg circling the Facebook guy, circling his wagons.
Have you ordered your report yet?
No.
You have to order your Facebook report. You're going to be shocked. I've ordered mine. It's on the way.
I know where I go. I know where I've been.
No, they know every website. They know every person you've contacted.
Of course they do.
It's amazing.
Of course they do. Why are you surprised by that?
And they keep track of it all.
Why are you surprised by that?
They know if I've watched dirty movies on my phone.
Why does that surprise you? I got news for you. It's more than Facebook. We'll talk about this more just after 7 o'clock. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, 656. Here's Rush.
On Saturday, the Washington Post listed their top 15 Democrat presidential hopefuls. At the bottom of the pile, number 15, Montana Governor Steve Bullock. I wonder if anybody outside his state even knows who he is. Next in the heap, the Oprah. A shock that she's down at number 14, since we were told a few weeks ago the Oprah was the anointed savior of the party and the country and the world. New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu pulls in at number 13. Number 12 is Obama's wingman, former AG Eric Holder. Above him at number 11, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, whose brother Fredo works for CNN. 10th place, Sherrod Brown, Ohio Senator. 9th, former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick, followed by another former governor, Clinton hack Terry McAuliffe, in 8th place. The next 3 are Northeast liberals. Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy, number 7. New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand at number 6. And New Jersey Senator dramatic actor Cory Booker at number 5. Number 4, California Senator Kamala Harris. Number 3, Joe Biden. Second place finisher, Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. So who's number 1? The most likely Democrat Party nominee in 2020? It's Bernie Sanders. And he might even stand a chance this time, since Hillary Clinton did not even make the top 15. Today's technology makes things easier because everything's connected. Your cell phone, your tablet, even your smart TV, all connected to one account. And they're all connected to your Wi-Fi. It only takes just one weak link for a cyber thug criminal to break in and obtain your data. And that's why the new LifeLock identity theft protection now adds the power of Norton security to your devices. Now, while LifeLock uses proprietary technology to detect threats to your identity, the addition of Norton security helps protect up to 5 of your devices from online threats. And if there's a problem, LifeLock's agents will work to fix it. Now, of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or cybercrime or monitor all transactions in all businesses. But new LifeLock with Norton gives you more protection for today's connected world. Join now, get 10% off your first year. Go online to lifelock.com and enter the promo code RUSH. That's lifelock.com. Remember, promo code RUSH.
The intersection of Uri Drive and Southfield Road starting to see some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Old Mendon Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
6:59, here's your KEEL AccuWeather.com forecast. Kind of cloudy and rain heavy at times later today, but highs today in the middle to upper 70s. Right now, 67 at KEEL, 7 o'clock, Fox News.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport. The
3 past 7 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. KEEL app is a free download, and Miss Erin has local news up next.
Minimum wage fight is on. It'll be before the Senate. The state attorney general's office announcing his results in the Alton Sterling investigation. And should Shreveport bail out of the Metropolitan Planning Commission?
So here's the deal. Councilman James Fleury, Shreveport Councilman James Fleury, in just a couple of minutes.
Told me if he might go down in flames, but he's going down fighting.
I beg your pardon?
That's what he said.
He's going to tell us what he's fighting about, or is this just some sort of Don Quixote thing?
He'll tell us.
You know what we were doing 4 years ago tomorrow?
What?
Think about it. You get it yet?
No.
Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on KEEL.
power of information. KEEL News now.
A bill to raise the minimum wage up for a vote before the full Senate today. The legislation would bump the wage to $8.50 an hour by 2020. Now, the National Federation of Small Businesses opposes the bill. State Director Dawn Starn says if the state mandates an increase in the cost of labor, then employers are going to have to raise prices or try to get by with fewer workers. But UNO business professor Mark Rosa doesn't see the $1.25 increase being particularly harmful to the state's economy.
Could have a negative impact. I don't think at the levels that are being discussed. I mean, it's been sitting fairly stagnant for a number of years.
Rosa says even without a minimum wage increase, it'd be tough for businesses to try and pay that little under the current economy. The Louisiana Attorney General's office expected to announce its results in the Alton Sterling investigation today. Loyola law professor Dan Ciolino says investigators have been looking at more than just the video.
What happened before the tape started rolling, what happened afterwards, what the forensic evidence showed, all bear on whether there's probable cause to believe that this was an unjustifiable killing.
The shooting death of Sterling nearly 2 years ago sparked protests across Baton Rouge. Shreveport Council member James Fleury says if the city wants to bring jobs to town, the city needs to break away from the MPC. Fleury says the city currently is not business friendly and potential business suitors are headed to Bossier. Now, on the jobs front, Shreveport Bossier's lost 15,000 jobs since '08, and we're not bouncing back yet. That's the message from LSU economist Dr. Lauren Scott, who says some people are making the decision to leave our state.
People tend to follow the pocketbook. They move with the pocketbook. They vote with their pocketbook. And it would not surprise me. I haven't looked at the census statistics lately, but it would not surprise me to find us on the net losing folks because they're going to go where the jobs are.
Scott says the employment numbers aren't as rosy in towns where construction has slowed, and Shreveport Bossier is on that list. You may soon be able to get beer, wine, and liquor delivered to your door. State Senator Blade Morris proposes a bill that would allow Louisiana retailers, restaurants, and companies like Waiter to deliver factory-sealed alcohol to your home. The law, however, would not permit home delivery of mixed drinks or frozen daiquiris. New cutting-edge technology could be coming to Shreveport. Matt Parker with that.
Shreveport could be getting some cutting-edge wireless technology. The Infrastructure Committee is writing an ordinance that would allow the installation of new, smaller 5G wireless towers in the city. The new towers would improve broadband and cellular speeds while also increasing the city's capacity for users. The board hopes to have an ordinance drafted and up for a vote in the next 4 to 6 weeks. For 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A vehicle convoy has been seen entering the Beijing train station under heavy security amid speculation of a high-level North Korean visit. The escorted convoy was traveling in the direction of the Beijing rail station before a black limousine from the convoy entered the train station under a heavy security presence. Saints and Pelicans owner Gail Benson spoke Monday for the first time since her husband's death. She's at the NFL owners meeting in Orlando. Now, there have been questions on whether or not there will be major changes to the teams. Benson says after visiting the office on a daily basis for the last 8 years, she knows the organizations are running like a well-oiled machine.
I really don't want to change anything that my husband did. I feel like he had a phenomenal footprint that he left, and I want to keep it just as it is.
Benson says she plans to remain committed to New Orleans. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Eight past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Time for traffic. Ruben's here.
The intersection at Kings Highway and Linwood Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Old Minden Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch goes into effect this afternoon. We'll have a shower or thunderstorm in the area today, mainly this afternoon. High a very warm 85. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
.1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Keel app's a free download from Office Furniture Source. Shreveport City Councilman James Fleury is here for a little bit. Hey, Mr. James, how are you this morning?
Good morning. Good morning.
So the Metropolitan Planning Commission is a body that has outlived its usefulness, and it should be totally eliminated. Am I overstating? What do you think?
No, that's exactly right. It needs to be brought into a city department so that we can control our destiny.
Why? What's your primary problem with the MPC?
Yeah, and how is it taking away control from Shreveport? How is Shreveport not controlling its destiny because of the MPC?
Well, we're seeing applications in a neighboring city outpacing us, and that tells me that people are choosing to go across the river to establish their new businesses instead of Shreveport, because just look at the number of applications that has been reported that we're not keeping up to pace.
Is it difficult to do business with the MPC? Is that a fair statement?
Or pardon me, or are they just saying no?
Well, I think it's difficult. We have the image, the perception, and that's the biggest part of it is anything. Of course, the UDC was voted in, and we've got some things that we've got to adjust on that. And I'm sure the council will look at those that are problematic and see what we can do about adjusting them. But it just appears that we have an image there that's sending our development to someone else.
Throwing the baby out with the bathwater, can you not improve the MPC and get them to do better?
We don't have any power other than the budgetary, and we've got other cities all across the state of Louisiana. There's nobody that's doing this type of MPC that we have. You go to Lafayette and you pull up their charter. They've got a planning, zoning, and development. And I'm just saying that we need to be able to have more input for the 800,000. Actually, we're giving more than that because we furnish the human resources, we furnish payroll, we furnish free rent, and so we actually the city is giving a lot, and the others we're giving on budget 800,000 cash, but we give a lot of in-kind services too. And it just appears to me that we have no control. We just send the money up there, and bam, we've got 4 board members. The parish has got 4, and then we share a joint board member. And so I'm just saying that we need more structure, such as a city department that will report to whoever the mayor is, the CAO. Administratively, that's what I'm after, is the control of the administrative part.
James
The
Flurry,
board-
Shreveport City Council member, is this a personality conflict between you and the director, Mark Sweeney?
Oh no, I said all along from day one, it's not about me, about Mr. Sweeney. This is about citizens contacting their city councilman and saying, "Hey, this doesn't work for us. We're having too many problems, too many difficulties to develop. We're having costs that have added on to our projects, and it's making us harder and harder to get people to build in Shreveport." That's what it's about. It's not about Mr. Sweeney or about me. It's about the citizens that contacted me, who I represent, who I said in the campaign when I ran in 2014 that I will promote and support a business-friendly government.
Is James Flurry just a voice in the wilderness? Are there other councilmen that maybe are on board with you? And if so, what is the process for disassociating or disbanding the MPC?
Well, we're not really going to disband it. Everything will stay intact. But I have had conversations, and some of the councilmen have concern about whether the city can do this or not. I believe we can. And for the money that we're spending, that we're budgeting and giving, I just simply say that we've got to be able to have more control on what our money that we send up there. And people tell me all the time, well, they need to contact their MPC commissioners, but you got to understand they're political appointments. They're not elected. They're not held accountable to anyone. The city councilman is where people go to complain and to talk to and to give their frustrations. And I just wouldn't be doing my duty if I didn't speak up and try to make something better.
Would it be fair to say, because I know you talk to a lot of people, would it be fair to say that there are members of the MPC who would agree with you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I hear from some of them also. But right now, we don't have, when you got 4 and 4 and that one, the city that, we're what I call it, taxation without representation.
So, pardon me, Mr. James, what you're telling me is that there are members of the MPC that will say in so many words, we, the MPC, are kind of killing Shreveport.
Yes. Yes, that's right.
Wow.
I agree with that. 100%. Matter of fact, I've been told that. And I didn't just think about this thing. I've been fighting this battle back some time since I come on the council, but I just think we can make it better. And that's what it's all about. How can we make this has been in place for a long time. Maybe we need to think outside the box and go a new direction. That's all I'm saying. Just need some, at least it's worthy of debate. And that's the reason I'm going to offer this new ordinance today with a January 1st, 2019 effective date. Let's have a good, healthy, robust debate.
The MPC couldn't exist with just the $200,000 from the parish. So would it disband? Would the parish's planning agency kind of join with the cities? Have you had talks about doing that?
Well, the parish seems to think that they can handle their own. But let's just say we could do an intergovernmental agreement where we would charge them so much to handle there. So, I mean, it's not going to be a hard problem to fix.
What about the staff of the current MPC? Would they come work for the city then?
Well, I can't speak for Mayor Tyler and Brian Crawford, but I assume that everything we would never. Here's the way I see it. Now, I don't have the say on it, but what I see is it'll never miss a beat. It'll never miss a beat, but instead of Mr. Sweeney not working for the mayor, he will work for the mayor.
Speaking of the mayor, do you have her support on your idea?
Here's what I have. The mayor told me, said, whatever the council approves, Councilman, we will make it work. we're committed to whatever y'all decide. We will make it work.
Does she see problems with the MPC like you do? Have you discussed it?
Well, I can't speak for the mayor because you'd have to ask her that. But
okay.
I can rest assured that I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't flowing real smoothly.
Mr.
Never
James,
hear a word out of it.
One more question before we let you go. Is James Fleury's problem with the MPC body in principle, or is it with 2 or 3 or 4 or more members of the MPC?
No, it's within the body. I'm saying to you that this is outdated way to do business, and we need to change.
Shreveport City Council member James Fleury, thanks so much for your time this morning. Safe travels today for you, please.
Okay, thank you.
19 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. It is time for traffic. Ruben looks ready.
The intersection at Uri Drive and Southfield Road starting to see some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Old Minden Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch goes into effect this afternoon. We'll have a shower or thunderstorm in the area today, mainly this afternoon. High a very warm 85. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Twenty-two past 7 o'clock, Keel Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher.
I can't speak for the mayor because you'd have to ask her that. But
okay.
I can rest assured that I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't flowing real smoothly.
Mr.
Never
James,
hear a word out of it.
One more question before we let you go. Body in principle?
No, it's within the body. I'm saying to you that this is outdated way to do business, and we need to change. No, it's within the body. I'm saying to you, no, it's within the body. I'm saying to you that this is outdated way to do. This is outdated way to do business, and we need to change. Ordinance today with a January 1st, 2019 effective date. Let's have a good, healthy, robust debate.
The MPC couldn't exist with just
in place for a long time. Maybe we need to think outside the box. This has been in place for a long time. Maybe we need to think outside the box and go a new direction. That's all I'm saying. Just need some, at least it's worthy of debate. And that's the reason I'm going to offer this new ordinance today with a January. Business-friendly government
is
report. That's what it's about. It's not about Mr. Sweeney, about me. It's about the citizens. It's not about Mr. Sweeney. What it's about. It's not about Mr. Sweeney. It's not about Mr. Sweeney. About me. It's about the citizens that contacted me who I represent, who I said in the campaign when I ran in 2014 that I will promote and support a business-friendly government.
Is James Fleury
Teen Masters?
24 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. That KEEL app is a free download from Office Furniture Source. You seem odd, and this is odd to me.
I seem odd?
No. It seems odd to me that you are stunned, surprised, taken aback, jaw agape that Facebook or Google or any that they know what you do.
I'm waiting on my report.
Why? You know where you've been.
I want to know how much they know.
They know. Assume they know everything. They know everything.
Look, someone got their report and says they know where their car goes. They know every restaurant they eat at.
Erin,
I don't understand that.
Erin, your phone is on all the time.
And they know where my phone goes all the time?
Every moment of every day.
And they track it and they can document it?
Sure. Why not?
I mean, I'm already mystified that I'm looking for a sofa, and now sofa ads are popping up everywhere.
That's why it works that way.
I know, which is kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah.
But I don't like you knowing what restaurants I eat at and what websites I surf to.
If your phone is with you, every time that you get a new app and it says, can app X, Y, or Z access your whatever, and you go, well, yeah, because they need to know where I am to function. You're telling more and more people everything. So when you say, I'm going to get my Facebook report, Erin, you know where you've been. Why is it of any surprise to you that everybody else knows?
I'm going to be shocked by what I see, I'm afraid.
Why?
I really am.
Why? You know what? You know. Look at me. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
You know everything you've done. Everybody else knows everything you've done.
No, not everybody.
What's the surprise?
I'm surprised by how apparently it's this massive file they're going to send me.
Yeah.
That's like 800 pages.
Yeah.
Of every moment of my life.
Right.
That can be tracked.
Your phone is...
And they can sell that information, can't they?
Okay, here's the irony of all this. Mark Zuckerberg, I've painted myself into this political corner.
Oh, man.
Here's the deal. Here is what is so oddly ironic about the Facebook quote-unquote data mining scandal.
Mm-hmm.
When Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook were giving freely all of the information that they had culled from all of the Facebook people, when they were giving it away to the Obama campaign and to Democrat, they were heroes. And the Obama campaign and the Democratic National Committee and the Democratic Party, they were incredible. They were innovators. They were data mining. These people are geniuses.
Yep.
And now that Mark Zuckerberg has sold that same information to Republicans, he's Satan. He's the devil. He must be destroyed.
If you want to see your report and what Facebook knows about you, let me give you a couple of quick tips on where you can get it. Click on your little arrow on your Facebook page. Then you click on the little arrow, drop-down box, go to your settings. And then on your settings, when you open that up, underneath all the general account stuff, it'll say, download a copy of your Facebook data. You click download. Here's what happened to me because I clicked it.
All right.
They sent me an email automatically saying, thank you for requesting your data. It will take us some time to put it all together.
There are 1 billion people on that.
Be looking for your report, which we will email to you shortly.
Now,
and that was yesterday, and I'm waiting for my data.
In 30 seconds, to sum up, tell me what it is. Tell me what you expect to see that will surprise you.
The people that I've called, the friends on my Facebook that I've liked their things.
Have you forgotten all?
They keep track of all that. No, I haven't forgotten. But I'm like, who cares? Why is somebody even going to the trouble of doing this? It's ridiculous. And if I've done anything scandalous, which I haven't, it'll keep track of all that. And then they can sell that information. What if I have gone to a risque website or
And
two?
every step of the way, when you accept terms and conditions, you tell them it's okay to do that.
Oh,
it's not like they're sneaking it by you.
Remember, always read the fine print.
Who reads the fine print,
Well,
Maddie?
then you wind up, oh my God, I visited. How did they know I watch this kind of stuff?
Because you've given them permission
Yeah.
to track everything you do.
Unreal.
As have we all.
Oh, boy.
29 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Erin, local news up next. Here's Ruben.
Starting to see some slow-moving traffic on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport, and we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch goes into effect this afternoon. We'll have a shower or thunderstorm in the area today, mainly this afternoon. High a very warm 85. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
That we're spending, that we're budgeting and giving. I just simply say that we've got to be able to have more control on what our money that we send up there. And people tell me all the time, well, they need to contact their
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Attorney General Jeff Landry expected to announce today results of an investigation into the Alton Sterling death. They've investigated for nearly a year. Now, Loyola University law professor Dane Ciolino says state's AG office likely used information gathered by the feds and state police.
And at the end of the day, the issue is whether or not they were able to uncover probable cause to believe that this was an unjustifiable killing, or whether there was the shooting actually occurred in self-defense.
The U.S. Justice Department announced in May the fatal shooting did not violate Sterling's civil rights. The unemployment rate in Louisiana at 4.5% in February, down a full point from February a year ago. But LSU economist Dr. Lauren Scott tells KEEL News the Shreveport-Bossier job market has yet to bounce back.
Yeah, your numbers are still not very good. I mean, you folks peaked back in 2008, believe it or not. And I think you're about 15,000 jobs below where you were in 2008.
Now, Scott says the numbers aren't as rosy in towns where construction has slowed, and Shreveport-Bossier is on that list. A bill to raise the minimum wage will be up for a vote before the Senate today. The legislation would bump the wage to $8.50 an hour by 2020. The governor says more women than men work minimum wage jobs, oftentimes are responsible for children at home. He says raising wages would help provide more stable homes for Louisiana's children.
If we want to do something meaningful about attacking our child poverty rate, which is one of the highest in the nation, this is something that we can do.
A full-time minimum wage worker makes $290 a week before taxes. Scary situation for a local family. Christopher Murphy arrested after he forced his way into a home and refused to leave. According to police, a female caregiver called for help when Murphy broke into a home on Huston Street. The woman was able to escape the home, but the person she cared for was not able to get away. A councilman wants to break away from the MPC. Matt Parker with that.
Shreveport Councilman James Fleury says that if Shreveport wants to bring business to town, the city needs to break away from the MPC. Fleury says the city currently isn't business-friendly and potential business suitors are going to Bossier. Fleury is proposing a separate city department that can approve its own business ventures and cut out the MPC, who he says is hurting the city more than it's helping. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport could be getting some cutting-edge wireless technology. The Infrastructure Committee writing an ordinance that would allow the installation of new, smaller 5G wireless towers. The new towers would improve broadband and cellular speeds while also increasing the city's capacity for users. The board hopes to have an ordinance drafted and up for a vote in the next 4 to 6 weeks. The Department of Children and Family Services has seen a huge decrease in the number of dead people getting food stamps after implementing a successful new program in partnership with the Department of Health. Assistant Secretary Sammy Guillory says over the last 4 years, 108 of the deceased have gotten SNAP benefits. That's down from 3,900 who got benefits in the 4 years ending in June of 2013. Entitlement fraud involving the dead's a big talking point these days, but Guillory says under the new system, benefits do get cut off now before someone can steal them and go on a spending spree.
In these cases, it's usually not fraud because we get those benefits cut off immediately. So even if someone else has a card and attempts to use it, they won't be able to.
The news that Facebook's Android app's been collecting call and text histories is yet another black eye for the social media giant. But just why was Facebook able to siphon off records of its users and who they were contacting in the first place? The short answer? Because Google let it happen. I'm Erin McCarty from 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Got a couple of minutes. We can do that right now. 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. That KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source.
I got to thank the folks at Merrill Lynch. Have you seen what they brought by yesterday?
I have not ventured beyond our studio this morning.
OMG in all caps. They brought a bunch of Easter baskets.
She's talking like she's typing. LOL. Instead of really laughing.
They brought a bunch of Easter baskets.
What are they?
Big baskets. They're in that little
With
office.
Just the baskets?
All kinds of goodies. And
So
and
they're
toys.
ready to go.
Yeah, they're ready. We just got to load them up and take them out.
That's awesome.
We're going to be delivering our Easter baskets this week, and we're going to be able to go to a lot of places. We're going to Project Celebration, Providence House, Hope Connections, Christian Services, Shriners Hospital. We're even going to make a stop there. We still need some candy to go, last minute stuff to go into these baskets.
When you say some candy, if I had like 50 pounds, like a whole, like if I
need
get
about 10 big bags of candy you could get at Sam's or something.
Yeah.
10 big bags. Senator Ryan Getty's office sent a bunch of stuff. Crime Stoppers sent a lot of groups got together and sent a bunch of stuff in. But
we have enough baskets?
We have 300 baskets.
Do you have enough of the like little plastic eggs to put candy in and stuff like that?
We're not going to do that because that means we have to undo those. Are you going to undo those eggs and put candy in them?
I'm tied up. I'm showering.
That's what I figured. So, and I'm really anti-peep, but if you send peeps, that's okay. I'm good. We'll get them out. Yeah. But good stuff that people. Because I remember as a child waking up on Easter Sunday morning, me and my 5 brothers. We had run out to the dining room table, and each of us had this big, beautiful basket of candy that was all our individuals. It was mine. They couldn't touch it. My brothers couldn't touch mine. I couldn't. It was close to Christmas morning for me. As a child, I have that vivid memory of everything in my basket was mine.
So
I want to create that for kids. We do a lot for Christmas around here for people, but we forget about Easter and how big a deal that is for kids, too.
So, you need candy. Tell folks how they can deliver if they are inclined to assist.
All you have to do is drop it here at the radio station on Westport Avenue, down from the Cracker Barrel, 8 to 5. We're going to go through the rest of this week and hopefully get it here by Thursday, because my final delivery will be on Friday morning.
And you'll keep giving us updates for the next couple of days.
Yeah, and I'm so excited. This has gone way better than I ever expected.
739, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic update. Ruben's ready.
The intersection at Kings Highway and Line Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now, and we have some traffic delays on Barksdale Boulevard near Hamilton Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, accidents, hazards, or closures, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch goes into effect this afternoon. We'll have a shower or thunderstorm in the area today, mainly this afternoon. High a very warm 85. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Good morning. It's 742. It's 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Shreveport Security Systems text line is 318-392-1884. Yesterday morning in the 6 o'clock hour, we sort of touched on this, and I think it given the push for the $1 billion Cross Bayou project, the 10-year $1 billion Cross Bayou project, this deserves a little discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And I had asked the question yesterday morning because, we got the Final Four, men's and women's, coming up in the next week to 10 days. And I had said, so what does college basketball's one and done rule, which has to do with freshmen, see, if you come out of high school, the NBA doesn't draft high school players right out of high school. They don't draft the kids anymore.
They used to, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they did, but they got away from that because what was happening was they were drafting so many kids that they thought would be great that didn't pan out. Because
wasn't Kobe right out of high school?
Yes.
And LeBron?
Yes. In fact, LeBron's the last one.
Okay.
But so many turned out to be not ready to play with the men.
Right.
So that was when they it just sort of evolved into this one and done deal, like Ben Simmons at LSU, like Kyrie Irving, who's with the Celtics now.
Yep.
You go to school for a year, you live the high life, you're a hero, and then you go to college. Well, what's happening is the college basketball hierarchy thinks that's destroying the game. The NBA, nobody likes it. Now, let me rephrase that. I really think everybody likes it. They just have to, for public consumption, say they think it's a bad idea.
Right.
So there are rather a lot of things that both the NCAA and the National Basketball Association, the pros, are considering as part of this change to end this one and done policy. And one of those, and at the forefront, is a move on the part of the NBA to upgrade the G League teams, i.e., their top minor league teams. like the one they wanted to get for the new arena here at Cross Bayou. Here's the deal. Here's what the NBA has suggested. In addition, see, here's the deal. If you're 18 years old and coming out of high school, which is more glamorous for you? Riding a bus from Bismarck, North Dakota to Rochester, New York for $30-something thousand a year?
Yeah.
Or playing at Duke or North Carolina or Kansas?
See, I still think they don't want to go to class.
Look at me. Back in the 1980s, I was dating a woman named Barbara who was an econ professor at University of Michigan. And she told me once, and this is practically a quote, if you are a scholarship athlete, remember now, she's an econ professor. In fact, it was macroeconomics
At Michigan.
Yes. And Ann Arbor. And what she said was, if you are a scholarship athlete in a money-producing sport and you flunk off the team, it's because you didn't have the initiative to go to the library to meet your tutor so they could do your work.
The tutors write the papers?
So I ask you
But
again.
who goes to take the tests?
So I ask you again, would you rather ride the bus in January for $600 a week from Bismarck, North Dakota?
I don't want to be in North Dakota
to
for
Rochester,
anything.
New York? Or would you rather be flying on the Duke or North Carolina or Kansas
Private
or UCLA private jet to wherever it is?
I like the private jet and all that. I don't like getting up and going to class, though.
So, what the NBA has suggested they do is upgrade the quality of the G League team. You know, the one we want to get here.
Yeah, we want them bad.
And so one of the things we're talking that the NBA rather is talking about is doubling the base salary for G League teams from $35 to about, I think it's like $67,000. And here's where this all affects us. And moving the G League teams, the minor league teams, into the same cities as the parent NBA teams. For example, the Cleveland Cavaliers G League team would be in
Cleveland.
The Los Angeles Lakers G League team would be in
Los Angeles.
The Dallas Mavericks.
DFW.
The New Orleans Pelicans.
NOLA.
The one that we want
would be in NOLA
if they make this change.
Oh.
And since this is something that the NBA seems to, at least it's one of the ideas they're putting on the
bad.
It's one of the ideas they are putting on the table, and one of the ideas that if it goes forward means there will be no G League team for Shreveport or any other mid-sized city. It means that Bismarck and Rochester and whoever else, Grand Rapids, Michigan, there's one there, the Grand Rapids Drive, they would, if this plan goes through, they would lose their teams.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I want to keep G League teams wherever we can get them.
Well, look at it.
Smaller communities need them.
Look at it this way. I mean, it's not like they're bringing in millions and millions of dollars. But here's the point. Better they do it now than we put up all this money and build an arena, and 3 years down the line, they take our team, if we would get it, and move to New Orleans.
Yeah.
747, 1017 FM and 710 KEEL coming up just past 8 o'clock. Erin's still amazed that someone knows everything she does on the internet.
And I'm going to explain to you how you can get your full report, too. FYI. If you want your full report.
Your Facebook report.
Your full report from Facebook.
Before we go to break, explain to me once again why it is surprising to you, given the fact that every time you click OK, every time you click on an app, every time can we connect to your device, that literally is giving them permission to know about everything you do. And the fact that you are stunned by that, and that so, in other words, that you want to print a report of your own internet activity of which you are already aware. That would be like, you know what we're going to do, Erin? Let me see you drive a Toyota. That would be like you getting in touch with Toyota and then telling you everywhere you've driven and you being stunned they know. Well, you already know where you've driven. What do you need to know for? Why are you surprised?
I think I'm going to be flabbergasted when I get my report to see every little minute detail they follow. And I'm going to wonder, why is someone doing this?
Because you give them permission to. Because they sell it for advertising. Like I said about Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, now that he's backed himself into this political corner. When he was giving your information to the Democrats, he was the golden child. When he sold it to Republicans, he's the devil. 749, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Your money now is just ahead. Meanwhile, here's Ruben.
The intersection at Kings Highway and Line Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Barksdale Boulevard near Hamilton Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, accidents, hazards, or closures, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch in effect this afternoon. We'll have clouds and a very warm high of 85 today. A shower or thunderstorm, especially for this afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
It is 8 before 8 o'clock, 1017 FM and 710 KEEL Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. LSU finished off a weather-delayed win over Vanderbilt Sunday morning to even their weekend series 1-all, but lost the 7-inning series ender 1-zip. Commodores freshman Mason Hickman outdueled Tiger rookie Mikhail Hilliard. Hickman moved to 5-0 while fanning 9. Hilliard took the loss despite surrendering just 4 hits in 6 innings and struck out 8. Louisiana Tech won their weekend series over Alabama Birmingham with a 12-inning 9-4 win. The Bulldogs turned a 3-3 thriller into a comfy win with 6 runs in the top of the 12th. Northwestern State grabbed a 3-0 lead over Texas A&M Corpus Christi, but the Islanders scored 8 unanswered runs to take the series 2-1 with the 8-3 victory. And the NCAA Final Four is set. Kansas advanced to San Antonio with an overtime win over Duke Sunday. Villanova knocked off Texas Tech and will face the Jayhawks in one of the national semifinals. On the other side of the bracket, 11th-seeded Cinderella Loyola of Chicago will face Michigan. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
So Stormy Daniels' lawyer is suing Donald Trump's lawyer for defamation of Stormy Daniels. I think Trump's lawyer said she was a churchgoer.
Oh.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty.
Thanks to Caddo Commissioner Mike Middleton, by the way.
Pass that along.
That's so awesome. He's going to run by and pick up a bunch of bags of candy from Sam's for me and has offered to help deliver if we need. He's just an awesome guy. Always willing to help. And said, if you need me to help pack the bags, I'll be there. Just tell me when you need me. So thanks to everybody. It's going to be a big day around here because we're going to get all these baskets out on the table.
Yeah.
And you're going to help pack, and Matt's going to help pack. Everybody's going to be working on them.
If there's going to be baskets, I guarantee you I will get a splinter that will cause me to end up in an emergency room. It just invariably...
Okay, good. Why don't you start now?
I'm going to get like special carpenter's gloves or something.
Let's get you to the emergency room early.
I'm going to get some big leather gloves because the bane of my existence...
He's such a whiner.
That's not a whiner.
You want some cheese?
I just have very soft, manly skin.
Oh, whatever.
756, 1017 FM, 710 Keel.
Wait, what?
Took you a while, didn't it?
It was registering. I still don't understand.
Yeah, lose your breath, you lose your turn, kid. Here's Hannity on Keel.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
All right, disgraced former FBI Director Andrew McCabe, recently fired by Jeff Sessions for lying under oath repeatedly. Well, he's now speaking out. In an op-ed for the Washington Post, McCabe held a pity party for himself, dramatically describing how he learned of his firing from a news report and writing how sad he was that President Trump attacked him on Twitter. McCabe did acknowledge that information he gave DOJ officials was not fully accurate, blaming it on, quote, confusion and distraction from the chaos that surrounded him. Now, if Andy couldn't handle the chaos of his job, well, maybe he shouldn't have been working as the deputy director of the FBI in the first place.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Today's technology makes a lot of things easier simply because everything is connected. Your cell phone is connected to your tablet is connected to your smart TV, and they're all connected to your Wi-Fi. But it may only take one weak link in all those connections for those cyber criminals to get in. Now, that's why LifeLock Identity Theft Protection now adds the big power of Norton Security. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to detect threats to your identity, like your info on the sale that they have on the dark web, and they have the addition of Norton Security. Well, that helps protect up to 5 of your devices from online threats like ransomware. Now, if there's a problem, remember, LifeLock agents will work to fix it for you. Now, look, nobody can prevent all identity theft or cyber crime or monitor every single transaction of every business, but LifeLock with Norton, they are by far the best and give you more protection for today's connected world. Join now. You get an additional 10% off your first year. Just go to LifeLock.com, promo code Hannity. That's LifeLock.com, promo code Hannity, 10% off your first year.
Keel Cash is coming soon. Your chance to grab $5,000. $5,000. Happens twice a day during April. Get all the details online at KEELnews.com. KEELnews.com.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Greenwood Road near Hearn Avenue. And we have some traffic delays on Bentonville Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch in effect this afternoon. We'll have clouds and a very warm high of 85 today. A shower or thunderstorm, especially for this afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.
3 past 8 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. The KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. And Erin has local news next.
Minimum wage increase, hot topic in the Senate today. Louisiana's unemployment rate is down, but is it really good news? And doing away with the Metropolitan Planning Commission. That's one councilman's dream.
This is something I've covered before, and I talked about it a bit in the 6 o'clock hour pertaining to the minimum wage proposal. And what I addressed a couple of hours ago and will cover again later this hour, don't you see major hypocrisy in all of that? Don't you see that? Like, how can you possibly think A is a good idea, but then think B is a good idea? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We'll cover that once again. And Erin reviews her Facebook report and is stunned by everything that she knows she's done. I know that doesn't make sense. Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather, and it's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on KEEL.
KEEL News now.
The state Senate to talk about bumping up the minimum wage today. The legislation would boost the wage to $8.50 an hour by 2020 and has the support of the governor.
I just don't believe anybody thinks $7.25 is a fair, adequate, meaningful wage for an hour's worth of work.
A full-time minimum wage worker makes $290 a week before taxes. Louisiana's unemployment rate for February was 4.5%, down from 5.5% in February of last year. LSU economist Dr. Lauren Scott says the numbers aren't as rosy in towns where construction has slowed, and Shreveport-Bossier's on that list.
You've had some reductions in force out at Barksdale. You've had Libby Glass layoffs of people. You've just had a number of kind of hits that you've taken, and you haven't quite pulled out and started to make the turn yet. I think you're still down about 2,000 jobs compared to where you were last year.
Shreveport Councilman James Fleury says if Shreveport wants to bring jobs to town, the city needs to break away from the MPC. Fleury says the city currently is not business-friendly, and potential business suitors are headed to Bossier. Fleury is proposing a separate city department that can approve its own business ventures and cut out the MPC, who he says is hurting the city more than helping. Scary situation for a family in Shreveport. Matt Parker with that.
Christopher Murphy has been arrested after he forced his way into a home and refused to leave Monday morning. According to Shreveport police, a female caregiver called for help when Murphy broke into a home in the 3700 block of Huston Street. The woman was able to escape the home, but the person she cared for was unable to get away. Police were eventually able to arrest Murphy without incident. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport could be getting some cutting-edge wireless technology. The Infrastructure Committee writing an ordinance that would allow the installation of new, smaller 5G towers across the city. The new towers would improve broadband and cellular speeds while also increasing the city's capacity for users. The Louisiana Attorney General's office set to announce its results in the Alton Sterling investigation today. The AG's office has investigated for nearly a year on whether two Baton Rouge police officers should face charges in the shooting death of Sterling. Loyola law professor Dane Ciolino says it's not known if Landry presented evidence to a grand jury,
or whether the Attorney General decided that the evidence did not even rise to the level of being worthy of presentation to a grand jury.
Teacher arrested for violently assaulting a student. Gregory Bonvillon, a Baton Rouge schoolteacher, accused of banging a 6-year-old boy's head against a brick wall and then throwing the student in the air. A bill to allow bulletproof backpacks on school campuses passes in a Senate committee. Senator Mike Walsworth of West Monroe says it's unfortunate that a step like this is needed, but he would rather take preventative action than rely on school resource officers and other law enforcement.
I think we would have thought that the officer in Florida would have been there to protect our kids, and he didn't do his job.
Walsworth says the bill would only allow the bulletproof backpacks. It would not require them. You may soon be able to get beer, wine, and liquor delivered to your door. State Senator Blade Morrish proposing a bill that would allow Louisiana retailers, restaurants, and companies like Waiter to deliver factory-sealed alcohol to homes. They're the games many of us played as kids or kids at heart, and later today we'll have an idea which of them will have a shot at immortality. The World Video Game Hall of Fame announcing its finalists for the class of 2018. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Nine past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at North Spring Street and East Stoner Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound. Starting at Spring and Market, it's backed up past Benton Road right now. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch goes into effect this afternoon. We'll have a shower or thunderstorm in the area today, mainly this afternoon. High a very warm 85. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Eleven past 8 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. That KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. You sent me this. You forwarded me an email yesterday, and I'm
cat fights on.
See, that's what. Yeah. But why is that a deal? Why does it matter?
It's a big deal.
Why?
It's a big deal.
It is an email.
You don't need to go public with this kind of dispute.
Okay, and that's what my point was.
Keep this behind closed doors.
That's what my point was when we discussed this earlier this morning.
If you don't want me reading about your little cat fight, then don't send these kinds of emails.
What we're talking about is an email sent by Gateway Development, just the terminology you're going to have to follow here. GDC.
Gateway Development Consortium.
And that's basically the folks that are fronting the $1 billion, the Cross Bayou
project.
Cross Bayou 2.0. And they are the folks that are sort of fronting that.
They're spearheading it, yeah.
Then DDA,
Downtown Development Authority,
which is Liz Swain is the executive director.
And it's been in business for years.
So, GDC,
Gateway Development Consortium,
the Cross Bayou guys, sent an email to specifically Ms. Swain at the Downtown Development Authority. And
responding to a Liz Swain email.
Chewed her out?
They chewed her out.
About what? Explain.
This is a butt chewing.
Explain to me what this is about.
And I don't think you're in a position to butt chew, in my view.
Explain to me what it's about and why it matters.
Apparently, in the email Liz Swain sent, she had concerns that some members of Gateway's group, the Cross Bayou group, were representing that the DDA supported the project. And there may have been a DDA logo on something or some inference that the DDA was backing it. And her email apparently said, please take our name off of your documents. Please don't report to people that we support it.
We have not given you our public imprimatur at this point.
And so this email to Liz says, hold the show. We're not saying that DDA supports this. We haven't done this. These are just simply rumors. And why didn't you come to us directly before you sent this email, which we are disheartened by the tone of your email?
So has Ms. Swain how did we or
I'm not telling you how I got it. I'm not telling you who sent me the email, but I got a copy.
Right.
Some other media folks did too.
Uh-huh.
And that's one of those things. It's behind closed doors.
So
I'm
it's
not
what's
saying.
called a leak.
Yeah, there's leaks all over this city. Have you not figured?
So
really underground and above ground.
So here's my question to you. What if at some point the Gateway Development Consortium sees the endorsement of DDA as important?
Of course.
Which in fact they do.
You bet.
Why would they pick a fight with Liz Swain and the DDA? Why wouldn't they just either A, give her a phone call and say, you could have checked with us, here's the facts.
We didn't say you endorsed it.
Or B, if they really don't want to rub DDA and Liz Swain the wrong way, just take the medicine, take the hit.
Don't get into it, yeah.
Here's my question to you. What does Gateway Development Consortium, the organization, sort of the phase one of Cross Bayou 2.0, they're the ones who are pushing the deal. They're at the vanguard. What do they gain from alienating Liz Swain and the Downtown Development Authority?
Can I speak truthfully?
Yeah.
And my opinion.
Now,
I have no direct knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't purport to know this is going on.
What is Robert and Erin's number one rule of Town Square Media?
Never, ever, ever send a negative email. You confront somebody negatively, eyeball to eyeball. You screwed up, Robert, and I'm going to tell you eyeball to eyeball. When you do great, I'm going to send an email and I'm going to copy everybody. Robert, you did great.
Never put anything in an email because in an email because it's a paper trail of.
Yes, and often the tone of emails come off not like you meant them. And that may be here because they say they're disheartened with the tone of your email. Here's what I think is going on.
Because like I said, I just don't see wanting the Downtown Development Authority's support and backing in this.
You need their help. You need their help with this.
Then why would you chastise them?
I think it's thusly. Are you ready?
Yeah.
My theory only. No facts to back this up.
Ain't the first time.
I think maybe a member of the Downtown Development Authority board has said to somebody with the GDC, this is a great idea. God, if we could make this happen, this would be awesome. And somehow that ball got run with into some presentation or some documentation. But I also think there's an underlying thing here that's way more sinister.
Wait.
And I don't even know if I want to say it on the radio.
That's it's a pretty heavy word.
I don't know if I want to do this. I really don't know if I want to do this.
I just don't see where's the spiff. Where's the upside? Where does it serve?
I might not do this.
Where does it serve GDC well at all to pick a fight with the Downtown Development Authority.
They're not. They didn't want to pick the fight,
but they did.
This should have been done face to face. Let's go to lunch.
Stop. Of course they wanted pick the fight. They knew.
Or they're so naive. They think this is never going to get out. But that's crazy.
Then are they so naive? Do you really believe that for an instant?
I hope not. I hope they're not that stupid.
Are people who are so who are so naive as to the politics of anywhere?
These folks are way younger than you and I. They got to know this is getting out.
That's what I mean.
They got to know that.
Tell you what, you think about what you want to say.
I don't know if I want to say it on the radio.
You can tell me off the air during the break.
Yeah.
And she'll get real close to the camera from the Facebook video feed, and
I might need to put a shot of Bailey's in my coffee to do this.
And you can read her lips.
Yeah.
18 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, traffic and weather updates, and Fletcher and sports up next.
Hi, I'm Don Tubbs.
Past 8 o'clock, Keel Sports. Here's Tim.
The intersection at North Spring Street and East Stoner Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound. Starting at Spring and Market, it's backed up past Benton Road right now. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch goes into effect this afternoon. We'll have a shower or thunderstorm in the area today, mainly this afternoon. High a very warm 85. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
So I changed the order of things, and as a result, I messed up the order of things. So now it's sports. Here's Fletch on Keel.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. LSU finished off a weather-delayed win over Vanderbilt Sunday morning to even their weekend series 1-all, but lost the 7-inning series ender 1-zip. Commodores freshman Mason Hickman outdueled Tiger rookie Mikhail Hilliard. Hickman moved to 5-0 while fanning 9. Hilliard took the loss despite surrendering just 4 hits in 6 innings and struck out 8. Louisiana Tech won their weekend series over Alabama Birmingham with a 12-inning 9-4 win. The Bulldogs turned a 3-3 thriller into a comfy win with 6 runs in the top of the 12th. Northwestern State grabbed a 3-0 lead over Texas A&M Corpus Christi, but the Islanders scored 8 unanswered runs to take the series 2-1 with the 8-3 victory. And the NCAA Final Four is set. Kansas advanced to San Antonio with an overtime win over Duke Sunday. Villanova knocked off Texas Tech and will face the Jayhawks in one of the national semifinals. On the other side of the bracket, 11th-seeded Cinderella Loyola of Chicago will face Michigan. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
No, I think in the scheme of things, it's probably better that you don't say on the air what you were going to say.
No, I'm not going to.
Sinister's not the right word. It's just political maneuvering. There's a political chess game. In your mind, there is a political chess game going on.
I think that's it, yeah.
And it involves who will...
It's a power struggle of sorts.
I think who will... Okay, we're talking about 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. What we're really talking about is Cross Bayou 2.0, the billion-dollar 10-year project. And it's sort of, at the heart of it is the support of the project. And not only the support of the project, but the unqualified support of the project, and who will be out front, and who will join hands, and who will lead the way with the GDC, i.e. Gateway Development Consortium, who is at the vanguard of the project. And what I had said before was, you had said, and a number of local politicos, as is related to the bond issue, look, you know they're going to want some money. And what was the original? The original proposal was what, $300 million? And what did they want? $30 million in bond money from the city, right? I think
that was $100 million.
Was it $100 million?
$100 million.
And a $30 million bond?
Right.
Okay. So they wanted the city to float 30% of the cost of the original plan, the one that was defeated by the city council unanimously 6-0 because Jerry Bowman left. And so it was 6-0. But the point I was going to make was they wanted the city to put up 30% of the money. Now, for Cross Bayou 2.0, if it's $1 billion, and they always go, well, it's 10 years, still $1 billion. So if the ratio of if they want the city's buy-in to be the same, what's 30% of $1 billion?
$300 million.
They want do these people?
Good luck with that. Come on.
Do they want the city to try to pass a bond issue, to float a bond issue of $300 million?
There's no way.
Would Shreveport?
There's no way.
Now, here's the deal. And you had said this, and a lot of other political folks we've had in and off the radio have said, you said, if that's going to happen, what really needs to happen is there needs to be a vote. They need to put that on the ballot and let the people of Shreveport decide if they want to float the bond for however much money, for however much investment and or backing the city of Shreveport should make.
Right.
Here's where I think that's a pipe dream. That's never going to happen. If your Gateway Development Consortium, is Janus, is that the name of the JANUS, the name of the New York company that's part of all this? If you are anybody who is really, really, really behind Cross Bayou 2.0, you've really only got to convince 4 people. 5 if you count the mayor.
Right.
You've got to convince 4 out of 7 city council people and the mayor so she doesn't veto whatever it is they pass.
Right.
If you go to the people, if you make it a popular, if you put it on a ballot, you've got to convince 50.1% of Shreveport it's a good idea. It's a whole hell of a lot easier to convince 4 people than it is 1 more person than half of Shreveport.
But you would then have a mandate that we support this. We're going to support this. We're going to go to these games.
Pardon me just a second. Do you think they care about a mandate? They don't. They care about their project. They care about getting the project built. They care about getting the money. They don't give a damn about
Well, then it's not their job to decide who to approve it. The city council would have to say, we're putting it on the ballot.
That's my whole point.
If you really want this money, we're going to put it on the ballot.
But if you are one of the 4 people on the city council who would be for this, why on earth would you be one of 4 city council people who would put it on the ballot and take a chance it might lose?
You're never going to get this on the ballot before the election. That just is not going to happen.
You'll never get this on the ballot at all.
You're probably right.
28 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Erin fretting, sweating, trembling over.
Matt is too.
Over her. Are you kidding? Photos. Send me copies.
Perverts.
Erin is freaking out over her Facebook report. And all this is, see, Mark Zuckerberg and all the Facebook, oh, we're sorry, we need to change the way the way we do things, which is what everybody should have known they were doing all along. Now that people are starting to pay attention to that, they have all your information and are selling it, or in other cases, just giving it away to their political friends. People are actually freaking out. 28 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Yeah, let's go to traffic right now. Here comes Ruben, and he's on KEEL.
The intersection at North Spring Street and East Stoner Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound. Starting at Spring and Market, it's backed up past Benton Road right now. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch in effect this afternoon. We'll have clouds and a very warm high of 85 today. A shower or thunderstorm, especially for this afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Attorney General Jeff Landry expected to announce today results of an investigation into the Alton Sterling death. They've investigated for nearly a year. Now, Loyola University law professor Dane Ciolino says state's AG office likely used information gathered by the feds and state police.
And at the end of the day, the issue is whether or not they were able to uncover probable cause to believe that this was an unjustifiable killing, or whether there was the shooting actually occurred in self-defense.
The U.S. Justice Department announced in May the fatal shooting did not violate Sterling's civil rights. The unemployment rate in Louisiana at 4.5% in February, down a full point from February a year ago. But LSU economist Dr. Lauren Scott tells KEEL News the Shreveport-Bossier job market has yet to bounce back.
Yeah, your numbers are still not very good. I mean, you folks peaked back in 2008, believe it or not. And I think you're about 15,000 jobs below where you were in 2008.
Now, Scott says the numbers aren't as rosy in towns where construction has slowed, and Shreveport-Bossier is on that list. A bill to raise the minimum wage will be up for a vote before the Senate today. The legislation would bump the wage to $8.50 an hour by 2020. The governor says more women than men work minimum wage jobs, oftentimes are responsible for children at home. He says raising wages would help provide more stable homes for Louisiana's children.
If we want to do something meaningful about attacking our child poverty rate, which is one of the highest in the nation, this is something that we can do.
A full-time minimum wage worker makes $290 a week before taxes. Scary situation for a local family. Christopher Murphy arrested after he forced his way into a home and refused to leave. According to police, a female caregiver called for help when Murphy broke into a home on Huston Street. The woman was able to escape the home, but the person she cared for was not able to get away. A councilman wants to break away from the MPC. Matt Parker with that.
Shreveport Councilman James Fleury says that if Shreveport wants to bring business to town, the city needs to break away from the MPC. Fleury says the city currently isn't business-friendly and potential business suitors are going to Bossier. Fleury is proposing a separate city department that can approve its own business ventures and cut out the MPC, who he says is hurting the city more than it's helping. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport could be getting some cutting-edge wireless technology. The Infrastructure Committee writing an ordinance that would allow the installation of new, smaller 5G wireless towers. The new towers would improve broadband and cellular speeds while also increasing the city's capacity for users. The board hopes to have an ordinance drafted and up for a vote in the next 4 to 6 weeks. The Department of Children and Family Services has seen a huge decrease in the number of dead people getting food stamps after implementing a successful new program in partnership with the Department of Health. Assistant Secretary Sammy Guillory says over the last 4 years, 108 of the deceased have gotten SNAP benefits. That's down from 3,900 who got benefits in the 4 years ending in June of 2013. Entitlement fraud involving the dead's a big talking point these days, but Guillory says under the new system, benefits do get cut off now before someone can steal them and go on a spending spree.
In these cases, it's usually not fraud because we get those benefits cut off immediately. So even if someone else has the card and attempts to use it, they won't be able to.
The news that Facebook's Android app's been collecting call and text histories is yet another black eye for the social media giant. But just why was Facebook able to siphon off records of its users and who they were contacting in the first place? The short answer? Because Google let it happen. I'm Erin McCarty from 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
So do you think, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin, do you think that there is a degree of hypocrisy involved, or do you see it as political manipulation? Do you see it as a plan, this sort of Machiavellian chess game? I'm not talking about Cross Bayou anymore. The Senate will debate or vote today. Just debate today on increasing the minimum wage.
They could vote.
From $7.25, the federal minimum wage, to $8.50 an hour, which is about, if you're a minimum wage employee and you're working a 40-hour week, that would be, over the course of the about a $40 a week increase. Because it's a couple of grand a year. Always remember, if you get $1,000 a year increase from your boss, from your employer, that's about a $20 a week increase.
That's $160 a month.
So you'd go from $11.6, the current minimum wage per annum, to $13.6, the current minimum wage per annum.
Sure.
And this is being trumpeted and this is being bannered by John Bell and the Democrats as, see, we're for the little guy. We believe that you need to be making more. You should be able to be living a better life. And thanks to us, John Bell and the Democrats, you will be able to do so.
And he's pulling the gender card too, saying most of the people that work at minimum wage are women.
So,
and if you're not for this, you hate women and children.
Well, now that's interesting because on the other side of that monetary coin, on one hand, John Bell and the Democrats are all for increasing the minimum wage. But on the other hand, John Bell and the Democrats are for increasing taxes on just about everything, i.e., we want to give you, no, we want your employer to give you a raise.
Yes.
We want to mandate. We, the state government of Louisiana, want to be able to order your employer to give you a raise so that we can take it away from you.
Yeah.
If the state of Louisiana, if John Bell and the legislative Democrats are for an increase, going back not that long, what was it, 24 cent a gallon gas tax increase. If they are for a return to a Stelly type tax system, if they are for increasing fees and registrations and all the things that they call revenue enhancements, the vast majority of which affect people like this. I repeat, is there a major degree of hypocrisy in a political party, in this case John Bell and the Democrats, that wants to mandate that employers give raises to their employees so they, the state government, the Democrats in Baton Rouge, can turn around and take it away from them? 839, 1017 FM, 710 Keel traffic time. And Erin.
How to get your Facebook report.
Why anybody wants to know what well, we'll talk about that in just a second.
You guys are oogling over it.
Well, Matt has some interesting pictures. I never thought I'd see Matt in that, let's say that,
whoa!
In that spot. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Gilbert Drive and Olive Street's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now, and we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Old Minden Road in Bossier City. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch goes into effect this afternoon. We'll have a shower or thunderstorm in the area today, mainly this afternoon. High a very warm 85. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
I 842, it's 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Always, the Keel app is an awesome download, and it's free, and it's presented by Office Furniture Source.
People have asked for the directions on this Facebook mess.
It's okay,
pretty easy.
I just don't get this.
Oh, I don't understand how you don't. This is huge.
What is huge?
Wait till you click on your report and go see everything you've done.
I know everything I've done.
I understand, but you'll be able to see things your friends have done. You'll be able to see, it's pretty massive.
Why are you surprised? Why are you shocked?
I'm not surprised.
Why are you shocked? Why are Americans up in arms that Facebook has, in fact, kept a record of everything you do via Facebook. Photographs, messenger messages, posts, every bit of communication. Like, I thought I deleted that photograph. Well, you know what?
It's all there.
Facebook kept a copy of it just in case they ever wanted to sell it to someone to use against you.
If you want directions on how to get to your complete Facebook download report, I've got it on our website at keelnews.com. Simply put, I'll put it this way. Click on your homepage.
What is the... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Then click on your settings. Yeah. Once you're on that page, you'll see at the bottom of General Account Settings a button that says download a copy of your Facebook data.
Okay, now...
It takes a minute to get it.
I have a two-part question. Question part one. Question one, part one. What is the motivation? Why do you care to take a look at the records of everything you've done since you know you've done it? And part two of question number one is, what makes you think that if you're upset at this, if you're shocked by this, if you don't like this, why do you think Facebook's going to change anything? Nothing's going to alter.
My worry is that because they have my cell phone number, they'll have access to everything I've done on my phone. And I was told by someone else that they can see every video you've ever watched on your phone. That's what I was told. And that's a concern of mine. They don't need to know everything I do on my telephone.
Look at me. Stop just a second.
Why do they?
Take a deep breath. Look at me. They, for the sake of this discussion, Facebook may not know everything you've ever done on your phone.
Okay.
But someone, somewhere, cumulatively knows everything you've ever done on your phone.
And are they compiling it where I can have a report, or they can sell this report to someone about me?
They are compiling it, and they are keeping it, whether it's for sale or whether they would be willing to give it to you.
If you want to see your full Facebook report, and Matt's over there, I mean, it's got all your instant messages from the moment you joined Facebook, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm actually enjoying this. There are people I completely forgot about that I had conversations with.
So, since you are so upset at this, since this bothers you so much,
and you can't even avoid it by deleting your Facebook
page. Since it is just dawning on you that Facebook and other digital providers and websites, etc., now that it's just dawning on you that there is a digital record of everything that you've ever done.
Yeah.
What are you going to change?
I don't do anything scandalous, so I'm not changing anything.
But obviously that someone is compiling
But
these...
it's just, it makes me feel oily. It's like I'm at a used car salesman. I'm trying to buy a car from a oily used car salesman.
That doesn't make sense to me. Explain what that means.
It feels creepy. It just feels... Why do this? This is just creepy.
Because
it makes me think Facebook is just creepy.
Not only Facebook. You have told them it's okay.
And I don't really care deep down to my core.
Yeah.
But it's just creepy to see the report and see everything they've tracked about my life.
And imagine if every website you visited or every app you've downloaded, remember, all of them, imagine what Amazon knows about you.
Yeah. Amazon knows a lot.
Amazon probably knows just as much or more than
Amazon knows way too much. Way too much.
So what are you going to change? Welcome to the brave new world, Ms. Huxley.
Oh, I need to go read 1984 again, don't I?
What are you going to fix? What are you going to alter? Because everything...
Nothing.
You have given them permission to do everything they've done. So have we all. So when you look at this, when you're up in arms, when you're going, oh my God, how can they do this? Well, first of all, you've said it's okay. But why are you surprised? Once again, I repeat myself, why are you surprised? Why are you shocked that these companies who are in the information business, first and foremost, are compiling information about you and everybody else?
They're going to sell it eventually to somebody.
Facebook already is. That's what the whole beef is about.
Why am I valuable to somebody? What is my info? You know, I don't get it.
It's not just you. What if it's a billion people?
Yeah. That's the thing.
We can
it is
tell
a
you.
billion
We can tell you everything you would want to know about a specific demographic and their tendencies and their trends and what they like and what they don't like and everything else you might want to know. And you don't know why that would be valuable. And I'll say what I said again about Mark Zuckerberg and how he's just kind of going, when he was giving away your information to Democrats, he was a hero in the media.
Guess what happens when a subpoena is issued for that report? This is from a local attorney.
Go ahead.
The end user licensing agreement does not provide absolute privacy. Actually, none.
You've told them it's okay. And like I said...
So a court could subpoena this document to see everything I've done?
It is a public document.
You can't get to it.
Oh, you mean between their document?
If a court wants it, they have to turn it over? Yeah. Oh, man. It's not that... I mean, I'm not... it may sound like I'm doing something scandalous. I'm not. But I'm thinking, what about our privacy rights?
You signed them away, Erin. Every step of the way. You have signed them away.
What if when Matt was 17 and he joined Facebook and he had a naked picture of a 15-year-old, can they come back and get him for that now?
It's all in there, and they have a record of it all. And what I started to say was...
I'm not saying Matt does. Don't get me wrong. Let's clear Matt out.
I don't have any of that, but we need to go.
What I started to say was a second or two ago. When Zuckerberg was giving this information to Democrats, he was a hero. Now that he's been caught selling it, not caught, when it's been revealed that he's selling information to Republicans, he's the devil. 849, it's 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Give me the stager, and I will attempt to do weather. Your KeelAccuWeather.com forecast, increasing clouds and a chance of rain heavy at times later today and tonight. High today in the 70s. Right now, 69 at KEEL.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
This weekend, 60 Minutes aired their interview with Stormy Daniels, the highest-rated show since 2008. It was all about her alleged affair with Donald Trump back in 2006.
The irony is that this same show, 60 Minutes, back in 1992, actually defended then-Governor Bill Clinton from his accusers, such as Paula Jones and Jennifer Flowers, who were openly mocked by the press and literally laughed at on the spot.
One of the worst things about bias in media is that what a reporter believes before the story ever begins affects what the reporter reports.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Abalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, 8:55. Robert and Erin. Erin's just amazed. Matt's going, this is cool stuff. Matt got his Facebook thing.
Yeah.
Understand, this is...
you can find yours, by the way. It's at KEELnews.com if you want to get your Facebook history. It's a big document you got to download.
Yeah, Mike, come on in. Talk to us.
Come on in, Mikey. It's awesome.
I'm just amazed that you're amazed that there's a record of everything you've ever done on the internet.
I know. It is. It really does amaze me. Caddo Commissioner Mike Middleton wandering in this morning. Hi there, bud. How you?
No, sit down, grab a chair, be our
He's like,
friend.
I didn't want to do this.
Yeah, you can. I mean, we won't mention your name because
it's too late for that.
Good morning, everyone.
How are you, amigo?
Thanks for what you're doing. This is fantastic.
Thank you.
Particularly when you said Shriners and Providence House.
Oh.
I mean, that's a home run right there.
Mike Middleton is donating stuff for candy for our Easter baskets. What'd you bring by? You dropped it all off, huh?
Yeah, I'm in the process of it.
You brought a whole truckload of stuff?
Well, I mean, my old truck. I put some stuff in it.
I love that classic truck.
Thank you. I appreciate
Mike,
it.
thank you for participating.
Thank
really
you.
do.
So tell everybody the plan for the rest of the week.
We're going to start packing the Easter baskets today. We're going to hopefully get them all polished off tomorrow or Thursday morning.
Even now, with this not so late delivery from the incredibly generous Mr. Middleton, do you need a little more candy still?
We'll know after today. After
or would
I get
you rather
all
just update everybody in the morning?
Yeah, let me update you tomorrow because we're going to get all the baskets out today. We're going to load them and see what all we need, and we'll let you know.
Run down again the benefactors, the children at what places will get your stuff.
Providence House, Project Celebration, Shriners Hospital, Hope Connections, Christian Services, and I may have said another. We're working on as many as we can.
She's keeping the peeps for herself.
You bet. Well, no, I don't like peeps.
I sent her a picture of peeps a couple of weeks ago, and she never responded back, so I guess she really does not like peeps.
I do not like peeps.
Got to go, kids. Back tomorrow morning,
Thank
6 till 9, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Kim Commando.
The pineapple poblano beef tacos, prepared with a perfect blend of earthy spices and all topped with a fruity, fresh pineapple salsa. Adding to the flavors are fresh cilantro, Roma tomatoes, chopped red onion, a dash of sour cream, and of course, just enough poblano peppers. And this fantastic HelloFresh Hall of Fame recipe takes only 20 minutes in the kitchen. That's right, just 20 minutes. As always, depend on HelloFresh to include only the healthiest farmers market fresh ingredients delivered straight to your door. So let's have some fun. And don't forget, there's free shipping and $30 off your first HelloFresh meal. Get started right now at HelloFresh.com/Kim, and shipping's free. HelloFresh.com/Kim for $30 off. HelloFresh.com/Kim.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on Texas Avenue near Mansfield Road, and we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Stockwell Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. A flash flood watch in effect this afternoon. We'll have clouds and a very warm high of 85 today. A shower or thunderstorm, especially for this afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.